Hey guys, just wanted to give a quick intro about what this video is. It's just going to be about Avengers Endgame, a couple predictions, and stuff like that. A little bit of deep dive into some of the stuff, but no spoilers. Obviously, I haven't seen the movie, but yeah. So thank you guys for watching and enjoy. Bye.
Hey, so what's going on, guys? Super excited. Avengers Endgame comes out tomorrow night. Myself personally, I'm going to the fan event tomorrow, so I'll be seeing it at 5 o'clock. As everyone knows, it's a 3-hour, 2-minute movie, so I'll be in there till well past 8 o'clock. But I'm super excited. I just wanted to talk about a little bit about the movie, a little bit. Obviously, no spoilers because I haven't seen it. I haven't seen the leak that came out like a week or two ago. But I just wanted to give some of my predictions for what I kind of thought was going to happen in the movie. And like I said again, this is completely spoiler free, just my personal predictions for what I think is going to happen. So, first of all, I think I've been reading some other people's predictions, other YouTubers, and stuff like that. Basically, I kind of think there's going to be, I think there's really going to be like two sets of like a big battle. There's going to be like two big battles, in my opinion, of what is going to go down and what's going to happen. I think the first battle will pretty much take place within the first like hour and a half or so, somewhere in there. I think one of the first things we'll see is Captain Marvel getting to the Avengers facility. I think we'll get that pretty much right away, which was like the end credit scene in Captain Marvel. I think we'll get that pretty much right away. Um, I don't see that coming any later in the movie. I see that pretty much happening right away. I think that that scene with Tony Stark and Nebula on the ship coming back in onto Earth. I think that'll also be pretty early in, probably like a half hour or so, maybe 40 minutes in. Um, I think in one of the trailers we saw that Pepper Potts was there with the other Avengers that hadn't been dusted, obviously. So I think she goes to the Avengers facility, and I think that the first half hour, 40 minutes or so, is kind of just dialogue, with Captain Marvel, the other Avengers that are already at the Avengers facility. Um, and Pepper comes there because obviously she can't get a hold of Tony, can't find Tony because last time she talked to him, he was going into space, and when he was on that thing with Spider-Man and trying to get Doctor Strange. So I think that'll be a thing, and I think that scene with all of them standing out there, out front of the Avengers facility, I think that happens, and Tony gets there, and I think the real first thing they do, I think they honestly, I think they fight and defeat Thanos pretty early on, like within the first hour and a half of the movie. And then I think that's why you see in some of the trailers how, Cap's beard is shaved, and, Black Widow's hair is longer and back to her normal color. Um, so I think some time passes after they, go in with Captain Marvel and Tony Stark and Nebula being back on Earth. I'm not sure really exactly how they would defeat him. Like, I don't really have like that in-depth predictions for that. I'm just excited to see it. But I will say I think that happens pretty early on, like hour and a half or so in. Then I think as the time passes, I heard something because I was looking stuff about when to use the restroom, because a 3-hour, 2-minute movie, you're gonna need to relieve yourself at some point. So apparently, no spoilers, obviously. There's apparently a scene where the Hulk goes to lunch, and it's like there's like 10 or 15 minutes in there around the I forget what they said, around, I think they said like right before the 2-hour mark. So they said you definitely don't want to go the last hour of the movie because it's like some of the best like movie going like experiences that you'll ever see, the last hour of the movie. So I think that if you had to use the restroom, I think, like I said, I think there'll be two battles. I would do it after, when there's kind of that downtime, when they're, mulling. Because I think they're able to defeat Thanos, but they're not able to get everyone back. Um, I think that's kind of the premise of it, and why, like, Cap looks so, upset and defeated still, in some of the trailers as the time passes. Because they were able to defeat him, but they weren't able to reverse the snap right away. I think then the second part, of the movie, moving into Act 3 of the movie in the last hour, is probably even before that, because I feel like it'll probably take a little longer than an hour. I feel that's when we'll get more than likely the quantum realm suits, and them jumping through the different times and going back in time, more than likely. And I think that's when we'll get that sort of stuff. And I think them going back in time will be them trying to reverse it, and possibly possibly them going back and being able to reverse the snap and get all their friends back and everyone. I think maybe them going back in time will be that they have to fight Thanos again, because even though if they kill him in the first part of the movie and they go back in time, like, he'll still be alive. So they'll have, like, Captain Marvel now, and they'll have to, come differently at him. If they do go back in time, then I think that they'll still have to defeat him again. So, and I think possibly that second battle the second battle in the third act, I think that could be where we see, possibly Cap dying, possibly Tony Stark. I would say I don't know, my prediction, I think that Cap is, about 92% more than likely gonna die. Not just even because, partially because of, that post that he made a couple months ago about his last day on set and how he was so thankful for the character. But I think that has a lot to do with it. So I think about 90%, 92% that Cap dies. I think that Tony, I would give him probably like a 60%, but I honestly think there's more of a chance that Tony is like Tony and Pepper, to save his relationship with Pepper, they just like go off the grid, and or possibly maybe even Tony fakes his death. He fakes his death and moves, like, just goes underground so Pepper can live like a normal life and doesn't have to like always worry about Tony getting hurt and always fear for this stuff. And that's possibly why in the Spider-Man Far From Home trailer we see Pepper sign the check for Stark. So that could be a possibility. I see that being more likely than him dying, because I don't see them, unless there's some sacrifice that has to be made, but I don't see that really happening. I don't see Cap and Tony dying. I see Cap dying more than likely, and Tony going off the grid and possibly just leaving Pepper on Earth, even though he obviously loves her. But I possibly see them, him going off the grid to save Pepper and, the rest of his friends, so he can kind of do this. Maybe he still like operates, but it's, not like he is like currently or was currently, and, living that out there life, but kind of just like doing stuff like maybe behind the scenes, and maybe there's a possibility that, he'll come back at a later date. I could possibly, Kevin Feige already said that they have the next 5 or 6 years already planned, so maybe that's Iron Man, Tony at the end of this 5 or 6 years, maybe that's his send-off, and he, comes back to help kill this greater threat that they're talking about, and, the next, big bad in the next portion of the MCU. I think that's a possibility as well. So that's basically what I think. I'm super excited about it. I'm ready to go see it. Can't wait for 5 o'clock tomorrow to go see it. So make sure to drop a like down there, and also drop a comment down there, or tweet me on Twitter if you think any of these predictions you think will be right or you agree with. And Also let me know what you think will happen, and if you think anyone besides Cap and Tony are a possibility to die. Uh, so yeah. So let me know. I'll do a video on Endgame after it comes out about everything that happens. With spoilers. But this is spoiler free, obviously. So once again, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to hit that subscribe and like button down there. Tweet me on Twitter at ScottTroop16. Follow me on Instagram, STroop_97.